It's a battle at women's bantamweight at the Apex. Dan Tom here with MMA Junkie to help you break down the main event for UFC Vegas 77 between Holly Holm and Mayra Bueno Silva. Bueno Silva, of course, has been returning to bantamweight. It's a division where she had success outside of the UFC, continues to be undefeated inside of the UFC, 3-0 in the octagon. She's going to try to turn that 3 into a 4, perhaps put her name in the mix for a potential title shot if she can beat the former champion in Holly Holm. Of course, Holm got herself back in the winning column this March when she defeated Yana Santos. And of course, with Holm being the popular name she is, the proven product she is, probably won't take much of a streak, perhaps just 2 here if she should win, to get her name back in the title mix, especially when you consider that Amanda Nunes hung up them gloves. At the time of this video, the odds makers and the public are siding with Holm in the neighborhood of -184 as your favorite. The comeback on your underdog, Bueno Silva, in the neighborhood of +142. Now, seeing these numbers kind of competitive like this is heartening. It means they're giving respect to the underdog side in Bueno Silva. Of course, I am not in disagreement, nor am I surprised to see Holm, again, the more popular, the more proven product, installed as your favorite here. Should Holm kind of hoss some takedowns on the floor, be able to stay out of submissions, mix those in her kind of Jackson Wink round-winning ways. You know, they love those kind of takedowns toward later on in the rounds. Holm is not afraid to engage in those fights, and she's got nice sidekicks as well as blitzes where she can kind of replicate the success Manon Fiorot had down at 125 pounds against Bueno Silva. Of course, there's a strong parallel there. That being said, I don't know if Holm, who is a more powerful athlete than the aforementioned Fiorot, has as much lead hand savvy, and I do feel like that Holm is really kind of translated into more of a clinch fighter, which can give her some success here. That being said, Bueno Silva, not just a Muay Thai fighter with the art of 8 limbs, she knows how to fight in that clinch too. Real strong body knees that I think are going to be something to look out for. In fact, the body work in general, really good against fleet of foot fighters. We saw, Bueno Silva try a slow burn approach of that against fighters like Fiorot and other fighters that were more mobile like Morose, who she, by the way, probably should have got a 10-8 in that round 3. You go watch it. Point being is that even though she has these weird drop-offs in round 2, like I warned you guys with Pantoja, I don't think it's necessarily a gas tank problem. I think these are just really aggressive fighters, kind of like a more disciplined fighter, Jose Aldo, a great fighter. He kind of needed his pockets to recruit. Those are certain type of athletes that have those pacing sensibilities. I think Bueno Silva is the same way. I think she's actually going to be really live in these later rounds. I see Holm having early success, but I believe that 25 minutes is ultimately just too long to be in there with a fighter that can submit you from multiple positions and has really underrated striking, as well as the counters and counter right hands that have traditionally plagued Holm. I'm actually going to take a flyer on the underdog here to see why, as well as to see pathways for Holm and both sides of their games. Check out my in-depth breakdown at MMAJunkie.com, where you can find results this weekend.